Om Yajnanandimirantasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmritam Jnana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 9th chapter of Bhagavatam 5th canto, in which there is description of supreme character of Jada. So, in first three verses, Sukadeva Goswami says that birth and avoiding bad association. So, in the first verse, Sukadeva Goswami says, my dear king, after giving up the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj took birth in a very pure Brahman family. There was a Brahmana who belonged to the dynasty of Angira. He was fully qualified with the Brahmanical qualifications. He could control his mind and senses, and he had studied the Vedic literatures and other subsidiary literatures. He was expert in giving charity and was always satisfied, tolerant, very gentle, learned, and non-envious. He was self-realized and engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He remained always in a trance. He had 9 equally qualified sons by his first wife, and by his second wife he begot twins, a brother and a sister, of which the male child was said to be the topmost devotee and foremost of central kings, Bharat Maharaj. This then is the story of the birth he took after giving up the body of a deer. So in this body he remained like one dull, deep and dumb. So 4 to 6, these 3 verses describe how his father tried. His father had so much attachment for that person, Jadabharat, and he died. So after having given up the body of a deer, he took birth in the womb of the youngest wife of a Brahmana. In this life, he could also remember the activities of his past life, and in order to avoid the influence of society, he remained like a deep and a dumb person. He was very careful not to fall down again. So we should also learn lesson not to fall down. He didn't mix with anyone who was not a devotee. This process should be adopted by every devotee. As advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Asat Sangha Tyaga a Vaishnava Achar, one should strictly avoid the company of non-devotees, even though they may be family members. When Bharat Maharaj was in the body of a Brahmana, the people in the neighborhood thought of him as a crazy, dull fellow, but within he was always chanting and remembering Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although his father wanted to give him an education and purify him as a Brahmana by offering him the sacred thread, he remained in such a way that his father and mother could understand that he was crazy and not interested in the reformative method. Nonetheless, he remained fully Krishna conscious even without undergoing such official ceremonies. Due to silence, some people who were no better than animals began to tease him in many ways. Would he tolerate this? So this is the nature of the material world. So 7 to 11, these 5 verses describe how Jadabharat was mistreated. After the death of his father and mother, his stepmother and stepbrothers began to treat him very poorly. They would give him the most condemned food, but still he didn't mind. He remained completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He was ordered by his stepbrothers and mother to guard a paddy field. So in 12 to 16, these 5 verses state how dacoits tried to sacrifice Jadabharat to Kali. The leader of a dacoit party took him away and tried to kill him by offering him as a sacrifice before Bhadrakali, because the leader wanted to have a son. That's why he thought to give this in sacrifice a person so that Mother Kali will give me a son. When the dacoits brought Bharat Maharaj before the goddess Kali, his Bhadrakali, and raised a chopper to kill him. So Bhadrakali came out of that ditty for described in 17, verse 17. All the rogues and thieves who had made arrangements for the worship of the goddess Kali were low-minded and bound to the modes of passion and ignorance. They were overpowered by the desire to become very rich. Therefore, they had the audacity to disobey the injunctions of the Vedas, so much so that they were prepared to kill Jadabharat, a self-realized soul born in a Brahmin family. Due to their envy, these dacoits brought him before the goddess Kali for sacrifice. Such people are always addicted to envious activities, and therefore they dared to kill Jadabharat. Jadabharat was the best friend of all living entities. He was no one's enemy, and he was already absorbed in meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was born of a good Brahman father, and killing him was forbidden. Even though he might have been an enemy or aggressive person, in any case, there was no reason to kill Jadabharat, and the goddess Kali couldn't bear this. She could immediately understand that these sinful dacoits were about to kill a great devotee of the Lord. Suddenly, the deity, his body burst asunder. There was a great sound, and the goddess Kali personally emerged from it in a body burning with an intense and intolerable effulgence. So the goddess Kali, immediately alarmed due to the mistreatment of a devotee, she came out of the deity and taking the chopper in her own hands, killed all the dacoits there. So it is very elaborate described in that chapter that goddess Kali was laughing, laughing. Yeah. And these there are Chandi, Chamandis, etc., the followers of Kali, they also appeared along with Devi, Bhadrakali. And when Mother Kali was chopping off the heads of the dacoits, and these Chandis, they were playing football in that head of the dacoits. Yeah. So such was a horrible scene there. So in verse 20 it is stated how Lord protects. Whom does Lord protect? Hmm? Sukadeva Goswami then said to Maharaj Parikshit, O Vishnudatta, those who already know that the soul is separate from the body, who are liberated from the invincible knot in the heart, who are always engaged in welfare activities for all living entities, and who never contemplate harming anyone, are always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries his disc, Sudarshan Chakra, and acts as supreme time to kill the demons and protect his devotees. The devotees always take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, at all times, even if we are threatened by decapitation, they remain unagitated. For them, this is not at all wonderful. Even if next moment he is going to die, still then, Jadabharat didn't ask the Lord, please help me, please protect me, please save me. He was calm. You see, we have to go to such extent. So, in which position we are now, we can think of. Anyway, that a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can remain silent despite the mistreatment of non-devotees. Rogues and dacoits who misbehave toward a devotee are punished at last by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way you will see that a pure devotee, Jadabharat fell down from his position, but it is, Acharya say, that his love of Godhead increased. It didn't diminish. It didn't diminish. We have heard how Bharat Maharaj, while he was doing Gayatri, there was ecstatic symptom. There is so much bliss that Ashtasattviga Vikar. And though he fell down, but his love of Godhead didn't fall. It increased. This is most important. So anyway, it is a lesson by the Lord through His devotees to us. So we should be careful. Eh? Prabhupada Maharaj has given us rules and regulations. So whether we are following it or violating it, do you think we are okay? Whatever we do, it's okay. Eh? So in this way, we have to reap the consequence. We should be cautious. It is for us, for this condemned soul, I can say, for fallen souls. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel, and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.